Hello Internet and welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions, the place where we unintentionally insinuate that we're somehow involved with a reality-altering media campaign headed by the SCP Foundation. Because that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? What's going on, guys? As per usual, I'll be your disembodied voice, Jack Finch, as we stare into the eyes of pure evil itself, try and calculate how many D-class personnel we can expend on this hypothetical scenario, and cautiously ask the question, what if SCP-106 was real? Roll the clip. Oh, wait, what do you mean we can't show that footage? I thought we'd already cleared this up. Okay. Too sensitive, no problem. On with the show. Their loss, I guess. Now, the real root of this question is, how does the SCP Foundation deal with the unknown? And more importantly, is their role as an overseeing organization of anomalous entities effective in its means of discerning the truth? Enter SCP-106. On the surface, an awful, sinister, malignant force whose sole purpose is to wreak death and decay on whatever happens to be unlucky enough to cross its path. But is there more to it? Well, let's find out. Before we chomp on that rotten hunk of flesh of a question though, you know the drill by now, folks. If you're a fan of this video, the SCP Foundation, general death and decay, or just LBQ itself, then be a dear and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell so you can stay up to date with our latest SCP based uploads. On with the show. SCP-106, or the Old Man, is a Keter-class anomaly that appears to resemble an elderly humanoid, displaying the general appearance of advanced decay and decomposition. Now, don't get us wrong, because this won't be the only vile visage it displays, and its appearance may vary from encounter to encounter. But one thing rings true with this skip: it is rot incarnate. The very vision of decay, SCP-106 is in no way exceptionally agile like many other Keter-class skips, nor does it display incredible feats of strength. Its modus operandi is to remain motionless at days at a time, waiting for its prey, like an evil grandma pretending to doze off in her chair. SCP-106 is capable of scaling any vertical surface and can remain suspended upside down indefinitely. During its method of attack, it will usually attempt to incapacitate any prey by damaging the target's major organs, muscle groups, or tendons, particularly the Achilles heel, then pull its disabled prey into its pocket dimension. What's a pocket dimension, you may ask? Well, we'll get into that shortly. One strange, unknown characteristic, one of many when dealing with SCP-106, is that it appears to prefer human prey within the age bracket of 10 to 25 years. Why? Well, alongside being a creature of death, decay, and corruption, it also appears to harbour a hatred for youth and the brightness of light and life. 106 causes a corrosion effect in all of the solid matter that it touches, which swiftly results in the physical breakdown of most known materials several seconds after contact. It is often observed as rusting, rotting, and a trademark cracking of materials, almost like a barren desert, and then the resulting creation of a black, mucus-like substance similar to the material that coats its body, if you could call it that. The substance is particularly detrimental, scratch that, highly detrimental to living tissues, and is often assumed to be a pre-digestive action, slathering up the goose in butter, so to speak. Now, let's talk about that pocket dimension. It's no small point that SCP-106 is capable of passing through solid matter, leaving in its wake a smear of corrosive mucus like some abyssal, evil, and ancient slug. It is entirely able to vanish within solid matter, entering inside what is assumed to be a form of its pocket dimension. Of course, as you would imagine, limited observation of this pocket dimension has taken place because, well, if you're in there, you're most likely dead. Special containment procedures have been revised time and time again, and the latest revision has deemed that any objects or personnel lost within its decaying world are deemed to be missing or KIA. It's like the Upside Down, but, well, so much worse. What we do know about this pocket dimension though is that it has shown to be comprised of mostly long halls and rooms. You know those nightmares you have where you're being chased by an evil force down long corridors? Yeah, it's that. Strangely enough though, this correlates with one cross-referenced article in the Foundation archives that perhaps points a finger towards whatever the hell this thing is. One of the leading theories in the origin of SCP-106 is that of the tale of the young man, which poses a more direct question to our answer if true, something along the lines of, what if war was personified? The record of the young man takes place back in World War I, in the nightmarish trenches of France, perhaps the Somme or Flanders fields, but nobody is quite sure. It involves a strange man named Corporal Lawrence, who for the most part is very likely to be SCP-106. It's important to note that this is only one possible origin of 106, however likely it may seem. It is theorized that Corporal Lawrence was already an anomalous entity, characterized by his strange behavior and his general disdain from his peers. He was a peculiar man who exuded a bleak presence. That is, until an altercation in a German trench where Corporal Lawrence fell into an anomalous pit of vile black sludge, not dissimilar to the substance that SCP-106 exudes. After that, he was a changed man, but not for the better. Manic and rambling, who'd whisper constantly about long halls and corridors, pursuits in the dark, and flesh laid out like the pages of a book. Perhaps it was shell shock, a terrible mental affliction on the survivors of war, or maybe, just maybe, that's where SCP-106 began, the result of humanity's drive to kill one another. As Franklin D. Roosevelt said, war is young men dying and old men talking. Well, unfortunately folks, that's all we've got time for in today's LBQ. Cheers for sticking around all the way to the end. If you've enjoyed this video, then go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell to stay up to date with our latest and greatest uploads. As per usual, I've been your host Jack Finch, you've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.